So funny. Okay, that works. Tway, just let me know when you press go live. You did? You did? Oh, hi. So fun. Is it starting? Okay. Well, let's make sure that it's on. Is it on YouTube? And do you see a video of me? Okay, perfect. Oh, awesome. Hello and welcome. Okay, we're live. Isn't it wonderful? The whole planet's live. Isn't it great? The whole universe is live. Hello, 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 los que están en Instagram. Instagram beloveds, welcome to the Satsang. Welcome to the Satsang. Welcome to the Satsang. Welcome. Welcome is my favorite word. So before any other words come through, let's just take a moment to allow ourselves, yes, hi, to allow ourselves to be fully welcomed. Or another way of phrasing that, let's take a moment to notice how absolutely welcome we are right now. Every part of us, before anything else gets said, before anything else happens, before any shift in energy or vibration or perspective, just noticing the complete welcome that effortlessly is this moment. I notice if there are thoughts present, any glimmer of a thought of thoughts. Wow, so much space, so much permission, so welcome, so welcomed. I feel into my emotional body of water. All the subtle currents, the swirls, the undercurrents, the shimmering surface, the depths, all of it so welcome. Just noticing how welcome you are, how welcome your emotions are. Welcome. And feeling into a sense of body, the sweet relationship with gravity and chair and breath, this blood fountain beaming with intelligence. So welcome, every atom, welcome, every molecule, welcome, every cell, welcome, every cluster of cells, welcome, every organ, welcome, every system, welcome. Noticing the senses, the ones we're mostly familiar with, and maybe a few extra spicy senses por ahí. Welcome. Welcome as immediate perception. Freedom as immediate perception. Awareness as immediate perception. Feeling into the planet our story of the planet, our sense of the planet, our sense of the world, our sense of what's happening in the world, our sense of what should happen in the world, our sense of the planet's own evolutionary process, own stages of growth and development, and extending the kindness of this welcome, noticing the whole planet welcome, every city welcome as it is for this moment, this blue dot life spot, still untamed, wild jewel, so welcome. Notice that there's no end to this welcome. The center of Jupiter, welcome. The center of the hurricane of Jupiter, welcome. Whatever idea we have of a cosmos, of celestial bodies, of galaxies, of multiverses, noticing a welcome that doesn't have to be done or maintained or sustained, but just is. A welcome that just is. Welcome. Maybe we feel into the energy body, the subtle body, noticing. So welcome. The idea of any circumstances in our lives or situations in our lives, unfinished business of our lives. In this moment, noticing, just welcome as they are. The unanswered questions of our existence, welcome. Just noticing the welcome. Welcome. So very welcome. What's the experience in this welcome? What do you notice? If you'd like to, I'd love to go around and maybe just share a word of your experience. I like that word.
Gratitude. I'm really kind of like feeling on the way, driving over, how precious it is to be in satsang,
Mm.
how rare it is to actually have the opportunity to be in this community of people who are interested in knowing themselves. So, reflecting, coming back, I really felt this sense of stillness that is everywhere at all times. But when we get to a place where we kind of congregate and say, okay, we want to experience stillness together, I feel it's somewhat amplified and celebrated, and I'm really, just feel this deep sense of gratitude that we have this space. So,
thank you. So honored. Hello, hello. Yay! All of it. I know. Welcome. We're exploring a word for a welcome.
Yes.
Your experience of welcome.
For me, it's a feeling of in tune.
In tune.
Just
Yeah.
being in tune in the nothingness. Vision for me is being in space, not attached to anything, and just floating.
Nice.
With unattachments.
Nice.
Settling.
Settling. Yeah. I love that word. Settle. Settle, settle, settle.
Ease.
Ease.
Relief.
Relief.
I don't have one word.
Yay!
It made me, I might launch into a little thing, but
Yeah. So welcome.
well, yeah, I guess just you saying welcome is, I kind of had the experience today of not welcoming.
Yeah.
So it was that contrast. And I, just to share a brief thing, because maybe I'm not the only one, but I get this seasonal thing when the seasons changes, where I get a little, I don't know, maybe it changes my chemistry or something. I get a little anxious, and I was like, no, I don't want that.
Right.
And so today when you were saying welcome, I was like, I guess that's also welcome, even
I
though
guess that's also...
I don't really want to welcome it because I don't like it,
Right.
It doesn't feel good in the body.
Yeah. And so wonderful that that doesn't have to change. That unwelcome.
Yeah.
You know, it's like for a moment holding a hand up of the apparent you that welcomes or doesn't welcome, and the unwelcome, and noticing that there's such space for them both to be here.
For the unwelcome.
Or even if I had more hands.
Right, for all of it.
For all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's okay for the unwelcome to be here. It's a big welcome. Yeah.
To allow it.
To allow, right.
Yeah, I like
that. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, how sweet. Yeah, say something to her.
When you said, I don't want to, and I was so with you on the same boat. If I don't like a state, I don't welcome you. I would be dumb, And then, you know how it switched? That's what I want to share with you. Suddenly, by welcoming it, I was bigger than it.
Oh.
I was suddenly the one who welcomed. And so there was not the fear it will dominate me, because I can choose.
Beautiful, yeah. And then state space, state space.
State schmate.
State schmate. Is it Yiddish? I don't know. Stairs, spares. In other words, when we are so focused on states, we're constantly tracking states. And when we're constantly tracking states, we are imagining that we are something that has states. And Lord have mercy. It's like a suffering lasagna. Layers and layers and layers of all kinds of melted Mind mucus.
Yeah. So you're saying it's not about welcoming all phenomena necessarily. It's about welcoming a welcome, welcoming a not welcome, just letting it all be.
Right. And it's
here.
noticing that that is phenomena. Anything that can be described,
Yeah. Right.
anything that can be objectified,
Yeah.
anything that can seem like something, especially something in relationship to identity, time, and cause and effect. The tres amigos of suffering lasagna.
Yeah. No, and those are literally all there. It was like, I
All
don't
of
like
those
this.
there. Yes.
This happens every year when the weather
Yes.
changes, and if this happens, then I'm going to be a mess.
Right.
So it's exactly
right.
those three things.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
so sweet.
Yeah.
And then what's really interesting is like, as we allow the state, the mind to just be as it is, for just a couple seconds, we start getting familiar. Something else reveals itself. It's like, what else is here? And to feel into the qualities of this permission, of this space, right? And also the innocence of these bodies, these soft animal bodies, these precious little avatar bodies. I call mine a man hamster. So precious little.
Mine just gets little panic attacks sometimes.
Yeah. So of course, yeah. All the shimmers of our extended body as this planet. You know, it's like, yeah, so willing. That's where willingness is such a sweet ally and sweet gift, a balm of reality. Because all of life is here. All the whole cosmos is here. All the states, all the energies, all the emotions. As soon as we attempt to micromanage and keep these here and keep those there, and I'm gonna have peas here and carrots here and meatloaf over here, and nothing wrong with it. And when it comes to peace, fulfillment, if we look at that to deliver the goods, perfectly, blessedly hopeless. Perfectly so. Yeah. Innocently to notice how we look in for the next thought to deliver fulfillment. It's like all of a sudden, phenomena is the whole spectrum of delivery persons. You, Amazon, FedEx, UPS. And we're constantly waiting for them to deliver the goods, to deliver. And then in that we innocently overlook, oh, this moment just as it is. Space just as it is. Talk about settle. Everything is allowed to settle in the welcome. In the welcome. Y me sigue pareciendo frío nuestro amor. It's so fun in the welcome. So apparently there's this history of me being in a boy band. And anytime that I do anything online, song lyrics from when I was 14 start appearing. It's so great. It's so funny. Talk about the welcome. Everything present, satsang, this conversation, this exploration, menudo lyrics. It's just so sweet. Yes, love.
My version, how
I love to
welcome
hear your
translates,
version.
let's
Yeah.
see. It translates as on an almost visceral level. When I come in here, most of the time, this is a space I feel viscerally welcome, and that makes me warm and expansive, and the bigger invitation to be not attached to anything.
Yeah.
That's like the welcome invitation for me to be very free, very free.
Thank you, love. Beautiful. Yeah. I mean, this is what satsang is, what romance is, what falling in love with a teacher is, what falling in love with nature is. Permission slips, training wheels, inviting us to get more and more familiar with this option of warmth and ease and silence and welcome everywhere as ourselves, regardless of appearance. And so it's very useful, for example, as beloved Felisa shared, a sense of space, a sense of floating in space, a sense of, I don't know how else you worded it, but the sense of floating in space, so very useful as we get familiar with being space itself. Because space is who you are. You're not someone floating in space. That's a thought that comes and goes. But your very existence, the stability, the solidity of you is space, is consciousness, is awareness. That's closer than this wondrous life blink of identity and form and body, which is wonderful. It's wonderful. You want to share?
So, what keeps coming to my mind is the existence of everything,
Yay.
of the existence of all and all of who we are.
Yay.
Recently, I've learned that not to separate bad and good, because my mind always wants to say that's bad, that's good, that's bad, that's good. And I've been having to train my mind to know that my ugly is beautiful as well.
Yay.
And not resisting that, and
Just
looking
for a
in.
moment, love.
Yes.
Is it your mind that knows that ugly is beautiful as well? Or something else? Feel into that for a moment.
I think that all parts of us, of myself, is beauty,
Is beauty, yeah.
and the fear of what the past and the trauma always wants to separate it. And for me, when I enter in this state of awareness, there's no separation.
Yes.
It's like looking in the mirror and looking at the faults parts of you that you don't like, but knowing that you have to be with it, and know it exists within you, to be able to then yank it from the root.
Why?
Yank it from, so that for me, from my mind, so that my mind can let it go.
I love that. And we've all been involved in these strategies before, where we are engaged in yanking things from the root and changing things, and that's totally has its place. I would suggest, as an exploration from a space of curiosity, next time there's a tendency to yank, just let it. Just just allow it. It's powerful that we have strategies. They have their place. It's incredible that we learn and that we evolve. This is not the opposite of that. That is absolutely welcome. And there are so many wonderful teachers and workshops and retreats that promote strategies and and but for a moment to get familiar with what's here, even if I never get the strategy right. What's here, even if I never master my mind or master what to include and what to exclude. You know, what's closer than anyone having to do anything for anything? You know, what's more primal? Yeah. It's really interesting. There's a poem in this beautiful book. I can't remember which poem it is. The Heart of Awareness, Ashtavakra Gita. It's a translation. And just speaks to even blinking is too much effort for how lazy fulfillment is. Even a blink. And how sweet that even in our everyday lives, with a pronounced sense of strategy, without that having to change or soften, or we can notice now what else is present, what is not reaching for something, what is not pushing something away. Yes, love. Can we pass the mic?
That's something very unenlightened just right
Oh,
now.
good. My favorite.
And that is, do I just imagine that I'm the mastermind of my whole little universe and I have to manage it? Or is that also only something which will dissolve?
Where is it now?
I just found it active when that question formed.
And what about now?
Now I can kind of choose.
Uh-huh.
It's fun to be on top of the universe and help create it, and it's fun to just be a drop in the ocean. It's both is joyful.
Right. And no problem with either.
I think I make a little bit a problem of the first because all the Western religions speak for the ocean only.
Right.
So sometimes I still feel a little guilt that I still hang on also to a mission of being the individual and as that, serve and have through that my integration in the all. It's still the integration of the all is the goal, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Then I don't know if that's a neurosis or a valid path.
Yay, neurosis and or a valid endeavor.
Mhm.
I mean, how wonderful. I mean, what's so beautiful and what I love, and please, this is not about getting rid of anything or making anything wrong. The mind isn't wrong. Strategy isn't wrong. They have their place. Most of the experience of our lives are inviting us into strategy, into ways of, into many different kinds of self-improvement projects. And that's okay. The invitation here is to, for a moment, not have to touch the need to change anything or shift anything or make anything unenlightened or make anything not conscious, but to just allow everything to float. as it is. Just allowing. And noticing that that allows, this awareness has no problem with the apparent wisps of karma that may appear. Just as the sky has no problem with a rainstorm or a rain cloud. Just as the sky is not saying, stop everything, where's my umbrella? The sky's like, rain, bitch, do your thing, bitch. Hurricane, all right, hurricane, you better get that little twist and twirl and shake it, twirl it, take it to the runway, take it to the runway, take. This moment, it's fun. Only the ego has a problem with ego. Only the mind has a problem with mind. Who you are as this indescribable, loving intelligence is so here, so willing, so welcoming to all that sense of an individual self that's so gone at its inception. In other words, we imagine the mind is so amazing as a seamstress attempting to sew together chunks of identity and time and say, this is me. This is my personality. This is my human design. This is my astrological sign. This is my culture. This is my wondrous and so welcome. Nothing wrong. When that is overemphasized and we're trying to change and alter and fix as a means to finally get somewhere, it's kind of like if I were to ask you, what would not having any mind activity in the negative sense, what do you imagine that would give you? Let's say there's no body anxiety, there's no stressful thoughts or limiting beliefs. What do you imagine that would give you or that would reveal? If anyone would like to share, anyone at home would like to share. And could we turn on the lights, please? Thanks, Steph. I would imagine peace. Can you hold the mic? Yeah, I would imagine peace.
No anxiety.
Right. So you need anxiety to stop and for mind to be different in order to be peace now. And is that true?
Seems yes.
Awesome. Yes is so acceptable.
Yeah.
Yes, right? It seems that way.
Yeah.
And where do you go for the evidence?
Like, agitation in the body, not
right.
away.
So descriptions for evidence.
Yes.
Good to notice.
Describing this.
Right.
Yeah.
So can you absolutely know that it's true? Can you know with 100% certainty that it's true, that you need anxiety to stop and mind to be different in order to be peace now?
I can absolutely know.
So interesting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just telling the truth. How do you react when you believe the thought? Believing the thought is the same as living on the planet of. We think we're on a planet We're only on a thought of what a planet is. How do you react when you believe the thought that you need this anxiety to chill or to stop or mind to be different in order to be at peace? And anxiety still seems to come every fall, or still seems to come sometimes, or still
I get
appear.
it's more agitating.
More agitating.
Yeah, it makes it worse.
Yeah, good to notice. How does the body feel when you imagine that that needs to go away in order for peace to be more present?
Yeah, it feels more amped and more
yes.
agitated.
Yeah. How separate are you and peace when you believe that thought?
Totally separate.
Yeah, so innocent. So good to notice.
Right.
What is the payoff for the ego to exist with the mantra, I need anxiety to stop and the mind to be different in order for peace to be here?
Well, it fits an image of
right.
I'm a person who doesn't have anxiety
Right.
or shouldn't have anxiety.
Right. So the images appear.
Yeah.
So there's an emphasis of identity, an emphasis of time, an emphasis of cause and effect. He's so innocent. Yeah. Just noticing mind and looking at all these faces. We have the same mind. There's no such thing as your mind and my mind and their mind and this mind. Mind is mind. I love how Byron Katie says no such thing as a new stressful thought.
Right.
It's so innocent.
Yeah.
Yeah. And who would you be in the moment, even if that thought appears, without believing it? Who would you be in the
which thought?
who would you be in the face of anxiety and mind doing mind, being mind, without the thought that it's stopping meant peace?
Yeah, I guess I'd just be somebody with a amped up body sometimes.
Right, somebody with an amped up body sometimes. Yeah, like a human maraca sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the peace. Yeah, here.
Right. I mean, even with that.
Even with that. Just as the silence is present as the music starts, the silence doesn't end. The silence is what allows for the symphony to have a go at life.
Right. Yes, it's really a wrong idea.
It's really
a wrong idea I have.
A wrong idea.
Yeah.
An innocent idea.
An innocent idea.
I mean, and it's not that you have for a moment. Feel into it. Feel into all the beloveds on the planet that may imagine that something needs to be different in order for peace to be here. Right. It's pretty much the human condition.
Yeah.
Right. Innocent. And as we allow that to be here, and then for a moment, it's like as an exploration, as a curiosity, to feel into the uncontrived compassion as a quality of this openness, of this welcome. Yeah. And it's like, oh my God, these sweet bodies are gonna have their feelings, they're gonna have their weather, gonna have their sensations, they're gonna have their experiences. You know, it's really powerful to notice little questions around time, such as, because I'm feeling this now means I'm going to feel this the whole season. And is that true?
I sure hope not. But
Well,
but
right now, look and see. Because you're
no, I
experiencing,
can't know that.
right, and say that, really feel that no. Let that no permeate this only world that exists, which is your hologram of a world. Your superimposed, wondrous, miraculous, unique soul print, soul constellation of, and I can't know that that's true. That just because I'm feeling this sensation now, that it's going to be there the next second,
Right.
Or the next minute.
Right. No, that's true.
Right?
It's already throughout today. Been there, not been there, been there, not there.
Right.
Yeah.
So good to notice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you mean that's what you mean with the time, that it totally distorts.
Right. Yeah. Time creates more of itself. It imagines more of itself.
Yeah.
Mind, time, cause and effect, synonymous.
Mm-hmm.
Always replicating, fractalating more of itself. Reifying, innocently.
And the cause and effect, say more about that.
So the cause and effect, if I get rid of this anxiety, then I'll be at peace.
Right. That's
and the way to get rid of this anxiety is to move to somewhere where there's no fall, or to wear a bathing suit all year. Who knows what the mind will create? The mind will,
if then.
Right? Yes. And then more, cause and effect, more. And then I need to do this and that, and then I need to do that. And if I do the U-Haul, and if I don't do the U-Haul, if I move, I mean, all these just identity. It's thinking as another way of saying thinking. Thinking from a space of thinking, delivering something. Strategy, right? So it's like, what does the mind do? I love how Candace O'Denver speaks to the mind indulges, story, thoughts, indulging in the story, identity. Next time I'm going to do this and that, and all of this means this, and oh, now I have this, and I'm going to have it for the rest of my life, or I've been diagnosed with this, and not because I had this in the past, because my grandmama had it, and then my daddy, and then wondrous this world of mind. Indulging in it is the itch, because it kind of feels good. It's like, oh yeah, it's that itch. It's like, yeah. And then, and then how fascinating. Yeah. Well, it feels good. You're scratching.
Isn't that indulging in the, and you grab the little seed of inspiration, you make a physical song out of it.
Well, what's so much fun, right? Again, as a disclaimer, in the exposing, in the education of how mind works, does not mean that it's bad or wrong. It's not bad. It's wonderful. It's great. It's good. Who cares? It's not, we're not saying it's bad.
That's the bad part. Who cares?
Yeah. Who cares? Right. It's like, it just is what it is. Look at this tree. It just is what it is. There's nothing wrong. It's like, oh, wow. I mean, of course, we can see the world and the carnage that arises when we allow mind to inform our actions and our words. But mind can only inform us when we are trying to change it, when we are trying to fix it. Is when we are being informed by mind, and when we move into a righteous state of consciousness, and when we move into ideas, unquestioned beliefs that we know what's best for someone or ourselves or the world, and then we try to superimpose codes of conduct onto ourselves and others, and then it's just a shit show. Oh my gosh. But this is what's so cool about an education. It's like, oh, wow, we're not just the mind. I love the demystification of this word enlightenment and this word awakening and this word awareness. It's plain ass cracker. We have a nose and we have vast loving intelligence. Not one better than the other. Just as normal. Just as every day. You are absolutely vast, infinite loving intelligence. And you got toes, and you got fingers, and you got a tongue, and you got thoughts that appear. And sometimes mind believes itself. So every day, so natural. And how cool it is that we can educate ourselves. Throughout the trajectory of humanity, we've romanticized and we've made everything very, oh, thou art holier than thou. And this is walking on water, and this one's doing that, and this one's living for 7,000 years in the Himalayas, and that one's wondrous. Just mind, again, postponing fulfillment. What is? Postponing what is. So an education is noticing, oh yeah, awareness here. If you're aware of anything, awareness is here. Sometimes we think awareness means we attach awareness with a supernatural awareness of a feeling sense of, we think awareness needs to feel that. That's just another point of view. And then we think that supernatural awareness has to stay. Fuck, why'd it go away? Where's that cosmic aqua net? I can just spray that bitch into place. Motherfucking cowlick of scarcity. Get that shit down. Cowlick of anxiety. We're like alfalfa. Like, come on, ding, sticking right on up. And again, points of view, what I love, and I love how Gangaji puts this, where she says, if something appears and it appears as if it's new, like, oh, this is a new state of consciousness that I've reached because of this DMT, because of ayahuasca, or because of iboga, or because of my Joe Dispenza meditation, or because of what Bashar said that I really got this time. Oh, shit. Oh. If we imagine that something is new, that's a good clue that it's going to go. It has appeared in you as everyday, plain ass, ordinary, radiant awareness. And it will disappear in you as everyday, ordinary, aware, loving intelligence. This is not new. Fresh, ever fresh. Ever fresh, not new. Plain as day. You've only ever experienced freedom aware of itself. That's all you've ever experienced. And everything is evidence. That's all you've ever experienced. Notice throughout your life all the feelings you've had. Wow. I love how Byron Katie says we're either sitting, lying, or standing. Everything else is a story. So to notice all the feelings you've had and to notice those feelings just saying, awareness is here, awareness is here, Awareness is here. When we're egocentric focused, the feeling is here, the feeling is here, the feeling is here, the feeling is here. Oh, the feeling is here. Oh, the feeling is here. Oh, the feeling is here. We start exploring, getting a little curious with what if instead of putting so much attention on the story of the feeling and the identity of the feeling and the time of the feeling and the cause and effect of the feeling, let me explore a little bit with how this flavor of phenomena wants to exalt awareness. Oh, look how this energy says awareness is here. It's kind of like watching beloveds at ecstatic dance. Every dance is welcome. The floor isn't going, let's see, who's really got the groove on? Oh, no. Oh, no, no. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The floor is like every footsie, every putsie, every snootsy, every shootsy. Welcome. every soul in one, welcome. Every flavor of dance, welcome. And it's really sweet, this mind, this option of getting familiar with what doesn't change, with the stability that doesn't change. Yeah. Anyone have a question or something? So we have a few minutes left.
I was going to say something. I heard this thing about this thing to play with. This is just to feel your hand. And like if you feel your hand, and then feel what's feeling your hand, and then feel what's feeling that. Just keep going. And what's actually feeling the feeling, it's like you don't know. And when you get to there, there you are.
Hi. I love it.
Yeah, you're just gonna go, oh, nice. Anyway,
I love it. That's beautiful.
It's a nice on-ramp.
That is a nice on-ramp. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I always have something I like to explore.
Yay.
A few times ago, you really kind of challenged my belief in letting go. Because I said, like for instance, often my effort is warranted, like in a yoga exercise. And since then, every morning I have a few exercises we do with my husband and I.
That's so sweet.
I every morning it's my research project. Can I do it without effort? And I still find a little effort, and then right away that relaxation in it. And sometimes then from itself it goes deeper into the. But I don't know. Does it not need in your universe? Do you need an initial will impulse?
No.
No. Okay, that's it. That's why I always explore.
Well,
could I do it all
for a moment?
without?
Feel into the moment. Does the moment need an atom, one atom, to change or shift in order for it to just be itself? Or is it just itself?
And if I do it, if I choose to do it, that specific flow, I can do it with so much ease.
Yeah.
That it's both a valiant effort and a total relaxation, because it just is.
It just is.
It's the journey. It is that moment. And
it just is.
It's good.
Yeah. So sweet. So sweet. Yes,
Since time comes in and says you're going to be away for a few weeks.
Yay. Yay time.
I mean, it kind of dissolves, but
Mm.
my son isn't talking to me right now. He's not living with me or talking to me, and which in and of itself might be fine, but the idea that there's no relationship to talk things out, like we're so used to talking things through or meeting. I mean, so it seems in my universe an odd way of working things out, even though like maybe that's how things are being worked out. But there's a judgment around how this is unfolding.
Yeah. Well, I mean, first of all, it's just, this doesn't exclude the heartbreak of our human experiences and our relationships. And I'm so sorry that you're experiencing this. I've had moments with my family members where just no talking, little brothers and sisters that are like children to me, like, and it's so heavy and so sad. And I'm sorry. Yeah. And I love you. Just, it's one of the sweet things about life is our feelings. And one of the sweet things about awareness with our feelings is that there's a space for us to feel them and to be sad and to grieve and to when the moment's right. Sometimes it's not appropriate to start questioning our thoughts right away about the story or about the experience. Because sometimes we can use even the most powerful, clear, profound sword of truth as a way to keep ourselves away from the strange medicine of our grief and our feelings. So it's important to walk that razor's edge to know when it's a time to grieve and to be broken and to be fucking sad and pissed and fuck that shit and fuck the other shit and where's my baby and wow, how did this happen or whatever, to just be with those and then to just having a curiosity when the moment arises to okay, I'm ready to tell the truth. I'm ready to question. I'm ready to see, So, for example, that could look like this that's happening right now means that we're not going to have a relationship or that it's messed up our relationship. And that's a concept that can be questioned. Is that true? Can we absolutely know that that's true? How do we react when we believe that thought? How do we see ourselves when we believe that thought? How do we see them when we believe that thought? How do we see the future when we believe that thought? How does it feel in our bodies when we believe that thought? Who will we be if we're soft and vulnerable and broken and sad, but also telling the truth? I cannot know if that's true. There's so much space and permission and so much love And such a beautiful, I love the story of savings accounts of love and appreciation and cuddles and hugs and listening and kisses. That savings account can be fucking relied on. That's there. I always rely on those savings accounts in these moments. But it's also like, I can't know if it's true. There could be a shift on my drive home. I can get a text, I can get a call. Not to say that we wait for that, but just opens our mind to it. The suffering is in our story, our stressful story of the situation. Suffering is different from pain. Pain is strange, welcome medicine of life with life. Suffering is optional. Yeah. How did that land for you, love?
No, it landed well, but there's that little voice that says, but with relationship, the more time that you don't talk, the more it's like, it just cement the distance kind of can cement.
I hear that. And is that true? So because there's been distance, there's some pounds of cement between you and your beloved. And is that true? And notice where you go for the evidence. And it's okay, the yes, and it's okay, the no. What feels honest for you right now?
I guess that I have to question that assumption.
Let's question it right now.
No, because I mean, it seems like in therapy, it's like prepare quickly or else, and this has been many weeks.
Many weeks, right? Yeah. How do you react when you believe the thought that the distance and the no talking is more cement being poured between you two?
Sort of inevitable sense of
Powerlessness. Yeah. 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 How do you see your relationship in the future when you believe that thought?
like it might disappear.
Like it might disappear, right? Yeah. How real is separation, time, and cause and effect when you believe that thought? Pretty real. Yeah. Yeah. And for a moment, just from a space of curiosity, who would you be without believing the thought, the concept that time and distance meant more cement and separation?
Just be a season.
A season. Yeah. Yeah. How do you see your relationship in the future without the lens, the cement colored glasses of the thought? that I don't know. Yeah. And it's okay not to know. Yeah. 11, I don't know, sun that expands and outshines all that we know. And I love that the word sun appeared. I meant it as sunshine, sun, but sun, sun.
Just offering something for the moments it comes back. You know, the questioning. I have pretty. It was hard, the separation process from my two sons, from very, very close to independent human beings. But anyway, I learned in my whole career as Waldorf teacher, when you cannot dissolve it with a child, and you so want, and you could get so lost in the wanting, or to give it up to your spiritual helper, so to speak, and they have a connection, so that spiritual helper can be then the message and the spiritual helper of that child in my class, or my son, or your son, and then you can let it go more and still love, send the love there, and not question yourself, but give it there. How I often help myself, and it worked in a way.
Beautiful. Thank you, love. Yeah. It's so amazing, these human lives and these relationships and the complexities of our relationships and of the roles that we play in these relationships. And mm, it's like a certain kind of sap of the heart that gets very sticky. And it's so, so, so innocent. And then it's so nice to just take a moment as we take responsibility for ourselves here now. It's like a way to just come back into not that anything needs to get cleansed, but just in the limitation of language, the cleansing, pristine waters of our business, of what's real, of what's here. It's like, in this moment, I can't know what's best for myself or my children, even, or the world. And just in this moment, the next moment, sure enough, I'm going to know what's best. And this is what you need to do. This is what you need to say. And this is what you need to call. This is what you totally has its place until it doesn't. All is necessary until it's not. But for the curiosity, wow, allowing one's unique soul's experience to just be as it is, without it having to be wrong, or without it having to mean something about your character or what you did or didn't do, but just gracing, extending the kindness of everyone in their own path, every thought in its place, every body in its place, every energy in its place. And then we can see that so many things coexist together and don't have to be mutually exclusive. There's enough space for the heartbreak to be present, and for the clear, soft, easeful relaxation, the curiosity of, and the willingness for the seasons, as you said, for the dances, for the dance of our relationships, of our connections, of our friendships. And, and we align with the harmony of what is. We should be talking right now. No, it's not. It's an argument with reality. We shouldn't be talking right now. Doesn't mean in the next second we are going to talk. It just brings us back to the soft intelligence of the heart, to fall back in love with reality. He should see things differently, or he should reach out, or she should reach out, or she should see, or they should reach out and they should. No. Life has its own rhythm. Life has its own intelligence. And as we relax here, rest here, tell the truth here, it becomes more obvious. And it's more obvious how trustworthy the ebbs and flows of this dream are. I thought all these things had to happen with my mom in order for us to be able to have a relationship. And by all these things, all the things she had to do, all the retreats she needed to go to, all the books she needed to read, all the acupuncture she needed to do, all the changing of her diet that she needed to do. And I'm not at all saying this is the case, but just sharing an example with me. And then as my honesty of looking at that and asking the question, what do I imagine that would give me if my mom was Marianne Williamson? That's an example. Marianne Williamson back in the day. Not the president, Marianne Williamson. What do I imagine that would give me? Well, I could tell her all my experiences and she'd receive it so calmly and take ownership of her responsibility in the experiences and be like, yeah, wow, I hear that. I'm so sorry that I said those things. I was really hurt and really lost and didn't know how to communicate. Oh, that feels so good. And if she could show up as this amazing, enlightened Buddha with a wig on, I'd be like, whoa. It feels so good. So that would give me, and if what would feeling good give me? Feeling good, oh, that'd give me so much peace. And what would peace give me? Oh, I'd be so available for my career and my art. And I'd be able to really be present to the process of my expression. And then what would that give me? Oh, if I'm really present process, lots of money. Oh my God, then I make so much good shit. People buy it all the time. And then it always ended up me with a husband and a dog and a big house with a fireplace and Sade playing. And I'd be like, yes, that would give me peace. A piece of ass. No, that would give me such peace, such ease, such. And then I had to be honest, is it true? And then in that peace, then what? Then what? Okay, what would that peace? I'm totally at peace. I'm in my house, I'm in my crib. And then I can just love my mom. And then it was like, oh wow, there's a lot of middlemen between me and loving my mom. What is it possible to just go straight to loving my mom? Like take the bypass here? And really? And that was the discovery, was like, I just wanted to love her. And I imagined that she had to be different in order, I imagined that she had to appear as a different kind of permission slip in order for that love to squeak out like a little peep. A love little yep of love. And only to discover a total floodgate of like, oh my God, this precious human being on this planet living in this experience with their own, like so free to see what they see, to hear what they hear, to understand what they understand, to know what they know, to perceive what they perceive, to protect what they feel needs to be protected, to say what they think needs to be said, to not say what they think they shouldn't say. Like, oh, I can just love her now. And then what a discovery that to discover there's nothing she could ever do to interrupt that love her now. Nothing, no one could ever do to interrupt that. Oh, love them now. What do I want when they're here? Love them now. What do I want when they're not here? Love them now. Love them now doesn't change. That's the constant. I'm very happy to love you now. That this love gets to love itself. And the effortless gratitude that appears in that love. Like the salmon that swim up those rivers, shimmering scales of gratitude in this floodgate of love. What lives, what ancestors, what gifts and talents and strengths and wisdom and medicine for all of us. We each hold a piece of the puzzle. So thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What song wants to come through? Feeling like a little ending with a song that ever hit. Let's see if I remember this song. I wrote this song when I was like 19 in relationship with this guy that wanted to explore polyamory. And I was like, ooh. And the song says, my fear's been granted wings to fly away, and my seed's been planted. My tears, my sweat will help them grow. Oh, my, I feel so good riding the wave of dreams, and you're next to me, the sweetest illusion I say. You could never break my heart. I could never break yours. The beat will let go of the stars that shine. We're Free to love each other like two birds that have discovered how to fly with the soul of love. Oh, when you see my love disguised as someone else. Said you gotta go with what you feel. Hey, hey. Your heart will always know. The sweetest illusion. Hey, no, you could never break my heart. I could never break yours. But we will let go of the stars that shine. We're free to love each other like two birds that have discovered where the labba dooba zabba dooba day. Guitar, little drum moments. Yeah, you can never break my heart. I can never break yours. You can never break my heart. I can never break your, yeah. You can never break my heart. I could never sweet do echo of the that shine. We're free to love each other like two birds that have discovered how to fly with the soul of love. We're free to love each other. We're free to love each other like two birds that have discovered how to fly with the soul of who it is we are. We're free to love each other, free to love each other. When we're free to love each other, we are free to love ourselves. When we're free to love each other, we are free to be the love we are. The love intelligence has its hand in every affair that is trustworthy. I don't gotta know how things are gonna play out, but I can stop for a moment and trust this intelligence that creates worlds, that gives us hummingbirds, that gives us wasps' nests, that gives us sacred geometry, that gives us this nature, every soul in its place, every heart in its place, every tear in its place, every crack in the heart in its place. All is well, all is well, all is well. Thank you for the satsang, loves. Thank you for this time together. So appreciate you. Thank you very much, Instagram.